arms. Hi guys, I'm Steve. This is Classified Captures. Now why don't we take a look at the first clip? Okay, let's take a first look at a clip together in this episode. Now we got a fisherman who's picked up something weird and stuck it in a bucket. Let's take a look and see what this is all about. Ooh, look at the gills on this thing. It's got arms. Wow. And fingers. Needs to go to the dentist, though. That's, a bit of a problem here. Floss! Floss, little thing. This doesn't look like AI to me. I remember seeing books when I was a kid of mermen, and they had these long gill kind of things. They were all holding tridents and stuff, but they had these long gills. Maybe this is a merman. What do you think? This next clip, we got a big, huge creature that apparently jumps from the trees. Could be a Bigfoot. Okay, well, let's take a look and see what we got. Has to be dark, doesn't it? Has to be dark. Slow it down. Nah, sorry. That could be anything. That could be absolutely anything. Why is it, as I've always said, it's the only big rant that I ever have about these things. Why is it whenever something like this is being the proof of a Bigfoot or something like that, the footage is always grainy, it's always dark, there are always too many trees in the way, the thing looks like it's got a zip up its back, it looks like it's just a guy in a gorilla suit or something. I mean, I know this is a security camera, but even security cameras are good enough these days. So I personally don't think this is real. But you tell me what you think. Anyone who's had a toddler or even an older child knows the last thing you want to do is leave your phone with them. But what if leaving your phone with them leads to them capturing images like what's on your screen? Well, what do you do with that? If you didn't already notice, there's a strange-looking shadow in the images captured. A closer look and you'll realize that what it looks like is a silhouette of a child. As with these images, there's no other child around to have been captured. This left the parent and the uploader of the image scared and confused. What was that dark silhouette? And why was it hanging around her home and child? Well, she went online seeking answers, but try as she may, there were none available. A few individuals in the community told her there was a child spirit attached to her child, whereas others accused her of faking the images for views. Well, what would your response be to her? Okay, this next one, all about the CIA between 1952 and 1975, doing experiments on people using LSD.
I hate conspiracy theories that run amok. But you know, a former CIA director is the one who came up with the term conspiracy theory to discredit people by making them sound like crazy people, when in fact, there was such a thing called MK Ultra, Operation Grasshopper, or MK Chickwit. You know, the CIA did crazy, crazy stuff from roughly 1952 to 1975. The Chinese told us in like 1951 that the Russians were using LSD to try to engineer it to be used as a mind control drug. That was disinformation. The truth was the Russians had no LSD program. The Chinese did. So they tried to throw us off the scent by blaming the Russians. We panicked. And by 1952, we started this program called MK Ultra, which began by using LSD experimentally. They started by dosing their own employees without telling them. Several committed suicide. One jumped out of a hotel window.
Back in my wild and woolly youth, I took LSD a few times. I'm quite sure a few of you guys out there have as well. In fact, let's do a whole comment section about your greatest LSD trip. Now, I've never had a good one. Probably says a lot about my brain. The worst attack I ever had, I actually saw my eyebrows coming off my face and they started attacking me. That was pretty bad, and I also remember another trip that I had where I was in a car with a friend of mine, and there were sharks swimming outside the window. Yeah, and trying to get in, trying to attack the glass. So LSD with me, not so good.
Control them, see if we can plant memories that didn't actually happen. Then they decided, no, it's not a good idea to dose our own people. Let's just dose strangers out in public. So they went to San Francisco, rented a safe house. They hired prostitutes to go out on the street, pick up Johns, people who hire prostitutes, bring them back to the safe house, dose the Johns with LSD, and just see what happens.
The CIA paid sex workers to lure men to safe houses where agents drugged them and then watched them through one-way mirrors and recorded their behavior.
Exactly.
They tried to erase their personality.
Nice, huh?
The goal was often to break and rebuild the human mind. In 1973, the CIA director ordered mass destruction of the MK Ultra files.
That day, he testified before the church committee. The church committee specifically told him, do not destroy any documents. He went back that afternoon to the CIA and said, destroy everything.
Why?
Because it was damning. They were experimenting on American citizens. They were experimenting by spreading diseases in American cities. He was fined like $150, and about 15% of the documents were overlooked and survived. We'll never know exactly what happened under MK Ultra.
Yeah, we'll never know. MK Ultra was as dodgy as it gets, but at the same time, let's put it this way. We need more whistleblowers. We need more people like this to come forward and explain this to the world, because I don't think people understand.
So they went to San Francisco, rented a safe house. They hired prostitutes to go out on the street, pick up Johns, people who hire prostitutes, bring them back to the safe house, dose the Johns with LSD, and just see what happens.
What do you think we're looking at? Well, I saw a couple of vehicles following what looked like a truck with something large on it. After they got the spot, they set up their piece of equipment, ran some tests, and then appeared to be running more tests. My first thoughts when I saw this, I thought it was like a secret military operation, perhaps one that is to do with visitors from, you know where. I went online to do a little research and discovered this might have actually been captured at a secret testing site. A little more research, and I discovered that it might actually be Lockheed Martin's Helendale RCS testing site. For those unfamiliar with it, it's a hidden facility in California where engineers check how easily aircraft can be seen by radar. They place aircraft shapes or parts on special platforms and beam radar at them to see what bounces back, then adjust the design to make it harder to detect. In simpler words, they're building stealth machines. On one hand, we know what they're doing, so, that's cool. On the other hand, you gotta ask, how successful have they been with these systems? And could they be spying on us or doing worse than what we're aware of? Part of me knows, this is to make our military stronger. The other part worries, about what they might be doing with all that power. Or is it just me? next video we got is about transparent fish. Now, I don't know if that just means they're going, listen dude, I gotta tell you, I will tell you everything about my life. There's nothing I will hold back from you regardless of where you're from, whatever. Everything I say to you is absolutely true. Or whether they're transparent as in you can just see inside them. I don't know.
They thought it was possibly something new. Some of these transparent fish are always fascinating because you don't see any organs or anything that it takes for an organism or an aquatic species to survive.
I'm gonna pause here and just hear me out here because I've heard from quite a few people that octopus are aliens from another planet that just came here the same way that sometimes different species jump from continents to different places where they shouldn't be. Maybe this little guy here doesn't need everything on the inside of him because he comes from somewhere else that's never needed this stuff. Yeah, he looks like a gummy. Actually, I feel hungry. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just made me hungry. Hold on a second.
They thought it was possibly something new. Some of these transparent fish are always fascinating because you don't see any organs or anything that it takes for an organism or an aquatic species to survive.
If you thought Shanti's story was wild, it's because you hadn't heard this young man's story. What was supposed to be a mother-son bonding time quickly became a blast from the past as he stunned his mom. According to the 5-year-old, he lived with his other mom and dad, who were abusive. They lived in a white house with a gray roof and a red door. His mom then hit his brother with a bat and threatened to do the same with him if he didn't clean the bathroom with a toothbrush. His brother passed away after that, and his parents followed shortly after. They died in a car crash while returning from work. His mom asks a few questions here, and he confirms he was in a car crash too. He was able to call 911, but that's as far as he remembers. From there, he found himself in a blue space with lots of families. He saw his current mom and picked her. His mom first thought nothing of it, but curiosity got the better of her and she decided to do some digging. She later on found an accident matching what her son had described. What's more, the woman who died in the crash died with her son. The funny thing is, she had the same name as her son mentioned. Unless a 5-year-old son has a secret life where he reads and memorizes obituaries with the history of the deceased, well, then we can say that he was telling the truth. If he was indeed telling the truth, then does this mean reincarnation is really true? Well, let's hear your thoughts on this one.
After I posted the video, I started doing some research, and that's when things got really interesting. I came across a story about a woman named Keisha Cora Cameron who passed away January 1st, 2021 in a car accident with her 1-year-old son. And when I saw the name, what? Mind-blowing. Because that name matched what my son mentioned in the video.
I'm not sure what to make of this. You guys also see the giant bat with the canine-like head, right? Okay, good. I'm not going crazy. But what exactly is this? I did a little bit of research and discovered that this first showed up online some days ago on a paranormal platform. The uploader stated that he received an email from an anonymous person asking him to post this clip so it goes viral. He wanted the lab exposed so the testing and research could stop. Now, the only problem is, he didn't tell us where the lab was or why it existed and who was behind it. And from what we can see in the clip, though, it looks like they're researching and splicing DNA from different breeds. Well, if this is true, then the clip is, well, it's sad. The creature looks sad and confused, and that breaks my heart. I know. AI is capable of doing this and, well, a lot more these days, but... Well, something about this clip, however, tells me it might be genuine. I don't know about you, but maybe I'm getting sentimental here. But you guys tell me what you think. The next one is about a haunted house. Now, anyone who's watched this channel for long enough understands that the whole haunted thing with me is a very real thing. I've seen it, I've experienced it, I know it. Is he in his attic?
Well, I just saw the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Watch this.
What the hell is that?
That looks like a person. Gosh dang it, I'm hearing that knocking sound again.
Not having this. That's clickbait. I'm sorry, but this video is clickbait. I don't believe for 1 second. There's no way that any ghost would act like that, like it was some movie prop or like... Which is what this supposed thing was doing. Throw this out. Next, I got a paranormal pop quiz for you. Take a good look at this clip and tell me what you see. And don't rush. Take your time. Well, do you see it now? Yeah. There's a young lady in the clip trying to take a selfie, but get a closer look at her, and you'll realize there's something dark standing around her. Looking even closer, you would notice that this dark entity actually has its arms around her chest area. Do you see it? What do you think's going on? Well, personally, my opinions on this aren't good. I double-checked with the online community and many thought the same. It's one thing to see a dark entity in your images. It's another to see its wrap its arms around you, especially around your chest area. What's more, a few seconds into the clip, glowing eyes appear on the left side of the frame. These materialize out of nowhere. The shadow figure around her also moves its limbs around her body, from a chest area to a waist as well. The clip was a very shaky one because she was really scared while filming. She believes there's a spirit attached to her. According to her, they've been with her for a while now, yet she's unable to get rid of them. They also only show up in reflections. Some in the community advised her to seek religious help, which I guess means a visit to church for prayer. Others stated it was a demon. But you've seen it, so what do you think? Now, I'm not sure what we're looking at here, but it appears to be a camera accessory for a PlayStation. This young lady is one of the few to have had these while growing up, and if you can tell already, this is an image from the early 2000s. While I'm kind of jealous because he's something I never got, I don't envy what this camera accessory ended up capturing. Do you see it? There's a gray, ash-like humanoid creature sitting beside him. Oh, come on. Had he never noticed this thing until he had his gaming accessory? According to him, shortly after capturing this thing on his device, it started misbehaving as though the creature or being was interfering with his functions. Rakes and skinwalkers are usually visible to the eye. Since this is the only visible to the camera, it means we're dealing with something else. The big question is, what exactly? Can any of you help? Now, we've been told theories of Middle Earth and hidden ancient worlds are pretty crazy. But here is something official science has quietly confirmed. Beneath Antarctica's ice lies a prehistoric landscape estimated to be up to 34 million years old, frozen long before humans ever existed. This is not a flat, buried surface either. Scientists have identified mountain ridges, deep valleys, ancient river paths, and vast terrain, all mapped in striking detail. They've even confirmed the presence of hidden lakes sealed off from sunlight in the modern world for millions of years. None of this required drilling. Everything was discovered using satellites, ice-penetrating radar, and physics-based modeling, meaning this world has been observed without ever being touched. Now comes the uncomfortable question. If some of this terrain has been frozen since before humanity began, well, what else could be preserved down there? Life doesn't need sunlight the way we once believed, and microbes already thrive beneath the ice. Hypothetically, ancient ecosystems or unknown forms of life could have adapted and endured in isolation. And here's the part we're thinking about. Why share this information now? Antarctica is one of the most protected places on Earth, heavily restricted and politically sensitive. If this knowledge has existed for years, why is it only being openly discussed now? Is it purely scientific curiosity or preparation for something we're slowly being eased into? Science has given us the data, but the timing raises questions. So what do you think is really buried beneath the ice, and why are we only hearing about it now? Did they disturb something? And are they trying to prepare us for the aftermath? Well, let's hear your thoughts. At first glance, this looks like your everyday picture taken by a teen girl from the early 2000s. A closer look at the image and you realize that the image has more than the Motorola Razr V3 from back then could capture. And yes, I'm not old. I was born way before even mobile phones existed. So how many of us used the Motorola V3 back in the day? Anyway, I digress. But do you see the being in the bottom left corner? Does that look normal? If you answered yes, well, I'd love to see you in our studio. If your answer was no, then clearly you see the translucent being in the bottom right corner. The young lady insists she was alone when she took this picture, yet the image says otherwise. Many things she may have done something or used something that caused the spirit or whatever that being is to attach itself to her. Well, what say you? Now, we've always suspected this. We accused them, we were loud about it, but many called us ignorant. Today, we see it in the news outlets. The US is finally admitting to weather modification and cloud seeding programs. Public records and government hearings now confirm the several states already run cloud seeding projects designed to increase rainfall or snow. Historic programs like Project Storm Fury and Operation Popeye prove that experimenting with the weather is not a new idea. Lawmakers have even held hearings on weather modification and geoengineering, pulling back the curtain just enough to spark serious questions about what has really been going on behind the scenes. Officials insist these programs are limited and purely experimental, yet the belief that the US could influence major weather events has existed for decades. Now, these admitted programs just the surface-level truth. Well, we know they won't tell us everything. If they're willing to admit this much, well, can you tell us what they're withholding? Some members of the community believe that the recent floods, droughts, and strange storm patterns might not entirely be natural. Some even complain of feeling the effects. We want to hear from you. Do you believe this is harmless experimentation, or are they starting to admit things because they messed up and slowly want to break the news to us? Well, let us hear your thoughts. Okay, this is blurry, I know, but just listen to him.
Now, everything you see in this video, they are not facts. They are not facts. They are just research-based. They are just information based on my research for TikTok purposes.
I wish I could play the whole thing, but there's not enough time for that, so I will summarize. We actually shared a video from MacLeod037 on this channel a few weeks ago. In that video, he spoke about the strange discoveries he was making in these rocky areas of Arizona. One of them was a door that had been disguised as one of the rock formations to throw people off. He got as close as he could and recorded a video. Today, well, he's back in the same area, and according to him, most of the fake rocks are being exposed. The rock he suspected to be a door is looking more exposed now, and he wants us to see with our eyes and judge the situation. Looking at it, I believe he really does have a point. There's something odd about these rocks. Could he really be onto something? Are there government facilities really hidden in the rocks of Arizona, or are we seeing what we want to see? Well, let's hear your thoughts in the comments section.
You tell me, what kind of natural rock formation forms precise, angled, square cuts into a concrete building? You tell me that is not a concrete building. Look by that window or vent. Look at that white door. Look how all the fake rock was washed off by the flood. Now you tell me, is that a hidden government facility? Is that a building sticking out of the mountain?
Okay, this next one is about a lady that's being pushed into a building. Oh, that's weird. Let's just watch this again. Whoa. It's the craziest thing to me isn't so much about the woman in the door, it's the way that kid on a bed, like her brother doesn't really react. He's like he's still lying down, like he's heard nothing and he's still asleep, and yet she gets up like a vampire out of a coffin. There's no as you would do in a bed as a kid. You see kids climbing around on beds. There's no way even the greatest athlete in the world couldn't get up from the bed just like going, whoa, up you get. Is AI good enough now to make a child look that frightened and that real? When the woman came at the door went inwards, yet she got blown outwards. It's one of the most real bits of footage that I've seen in a very long time, but I'm not 100% sure. You tell me. For a while now, there's been a rise in Dementor sightings. While skeptics claim they're nothing more than elaborate hoaxes, others firmly believe these shadowy figures could be real. But where could they be coming from? Well, this footage might give us a clue. This video was captured on November the 7th, 2024, and it's an extraordinary close-up of the sun's surface. In the footage, something strange is ejected from the sun. It's a dark, shadowy mass. As it floats away, flames trail behind it. At the time of this event, a solar flare had erupted from the sun, which scientists describe as one of its many natural outbursts. But here's the chilling part. This dark mass doesn't resemble anything typically associated with solar flares. Its airy shape and movement are eerily reminiscent of a Dementor. So could this be where these mysterious creatures originate, or is this just an uncanny solar phenomenon playing tricks on our minds?
Okay, stop. Am I crazy? That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore. But look at this. This is not the sun.
When the sun is setting, we usually see a beautiful display of golden orange and yellow hues. But why does the sun look this way? A woman was out driving during sunset and captured an image of the sun that showed these incredible colors. This image is particularly striking because the sun appears red or pinkish, creating a surreal and stunning view. The science behind this phenomenon is quite interesting. As the sun sets, its light has to pass through more of the Earth's atmosphere compared to when it's overhead. The atmosphere acts like a filter, scattering shorter wavelengths of light, blue and violet, and allowing the longer wavelengths, red, orange, and yellow, to dominate. This scattering effect is known as the Rayleigh scattering. Additionally, particles in the atmosphere such as dust, pollution, and water droplets can further scatter and filter the sunlight, enhancing these vibrant colors. This is why the exact hues can vary depending on the weather, air quality, and other environmental factors. So while the sun might look red or pink in this particular image, it's all due to the fascinating interplay of light and the Earth's atmosphere. At least, that's what the science says. What do you guys think?
That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore. But look at this. This is not the sun. I am 41 years old. I have never seen the sun look like this. Am I crazy?
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
A man and his family decided to spend a weekend camping in the woods, eager to enjoy some quality time together. The first day was full of fun and adventure, and as night fell, they began preparing to settle in and sleep. But just as they were about to drift off, they were startled by strange, unsettling sounds echoing through the woods. It was loud, almost like a howl or a deep growl, and it went on for what felt like an eternity. The man, sensing that something wasn't right, quickly gathered his family, urging them to the car as fast as they could. Some who've seen the footage are convinced that what they heard was the call of a wolfman, while others believe it could have been a Bigfoot lurking in the shadows. But what do you think? Could it be one of these cryptids, or was it something else entirely?
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
Let's take a look at this fascinating invention from MIT. It's shape-changing furniture. This futuristic table can transform itself to serve various functions. Need a cup holder? It molds itself to hold your drink. Want to keep your pencils organized? Well, it becomes a pencil case. It can even move objects closer to you or flip cards on the table for the two men in this footage. It's undeniably an impressive feat of technology, but it also raises some questions. What happens when your table starts refusing to cooperate? Imagine deciding to hide your car keys. Well, now that's a problem. So is this the future of furniture, or is it just a little too smart for comfort? How would you feel having someone stare at you like this from across your apartment? Not something you would want to experience, right? Well, Martha, the lady who uploaded this clip, felt she was being watched and decided to look around. Lo and behold, she saw her neighbor staring into her apartment. While staring in itself was odd, unusual, and rude, that's not what unsettled her. She noticed that the lady had this unusual posture, almost as though she'd been possessed by something. This went on for so long that she had to record and ask for answers. Personally, I would have taken this as a cue to move. What say you? Next, we've got a banana lying on a table. A hand reaches out to it, and this is what happens. The banana begins to pulsate as if it's alive. This is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen involving food. What could be going on here? Several theories came to mind. Some suggest it might be an elaborate prank or special effects trickery designed to shock and disturb viewers. Others speculate that the banana could be infested with some sort of parasitic organism or insect larvae, causing it to move in such a creepy manner. There are also those who believe it could be a cleverly edited video using CGI to create the pulsating effects. What do you think could be the reason behind this pulsating banana? The nighttime seems to be the best time for all sorts of weird things to happen and for strange things to emerge. Someone captured intriguing footage while walking by the woods after feeling like something was watching them from the trees. When they turned, they saw a pair of glowing eyes at the tree line, intently observing them. In the dark, the outline of the creature became somewhat visible, revealing what looked like eyes and an obvious snout. It was difficult to determine if that was the entirety of the creature's body or if there was more hidden in the shadows. When this footage was posted online, it sparked a debate with people having different opinions about the identity of the creature. One group leaned towards more familiar animals such as gators, dogs, coyotes, donkeys, and pigs. However, others suggested a more paranormal explanation, noting the eerie vibe the creature exuded. Some speculated it might be a hellhound, while another person humorously suggested it was a Pikachu, and yet another believed it could be a djinn. What do you think about this mysterious encounter? Is it a familiar creature, or do you lean towards a more supernatural explanation? Did you know that bumblebees have incredibly strong wings? These tiny powerhouses can generate around 20 milliwatts of power while flapping their wings at an astonishing rate of about 200 times per second. This incredible wing strength not only allows them to hover and dart through the air, but also gives them the ability to carry loads nearly as heavy as their own body weight. Bumblebees use this strength to transport nectar, pollen, or even small objects if needed. Their efficient flight mechanics and muscle power make them one of nature's most remarkable pollinators. Years ago, a piece of footage aired on a TV station in Milwaukee, and to this day, it remains one of the most intriguing mysteries we have ever captured.
Are those fireworks? What is that?
Look like some fireworks or something.
Aliens? I don't know.
What the heck
Where
is
is that? You see it, right?
I'm actually, yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
The video shows a beautiful cityscape at night with a dark sky. However, there are clusters of small lights moving about in the sky. They weren't stationary, they floated and shifted almost as if they were following some kind of pattern or purpose. No one could figure out what these lights were. They were officially ruled out as fireworks, so that theory was off the table, leaving most people to believe that this is evidence of extraterrestrial activity. What do you think?
Are those fireworks? What is that?
Look like some fireworks or something.
Aliens? I don't know.
What the heck
Where
is
is that? You see it, right?
I'm actually, yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
It captures a disc-shaped craft in the sky floating over the ocean and near a forest. The craft just glided smoothly, its disc shape clearly visible against the backdrop of the horizon. Despite significant technological advancements over the years, we have yet to see a saucer-shaped craft like this in conventional aeronautics. Could this be genuine footage of a UFO? The clarity and distinct shape of the craft have certainly fueled speculation. While some might argue it's an elaborate hoax or a cleverly designed drone, others are convinced this is proof of extraterrestrial life. Share your thoughts on this. Let's take a look at this intriguing image captured by an astronomer. It shows a flash of what looks like fire over the moon, resembling some sort of explosion. Interestingly, the explosion didn't appear to hit the moon, but rather ignited just above the surface. People have made several observations about this phenomenon. The area where the explosion occurred looks dark, but there seems to be a crater there. Some theorize that this was a meteor or asteroid that hit the part of the moon where there was no light, creating the illusion of an explosion above the surface. However, there are others with their own unique takes. Some believe that a mysterious field around the moon caused the impact to occur in such a dramatic fashion. Others even suggest that something or someone on the moon shot at the approaching object, causing it to explode before making contact. What do you think this could be? This next footage is truly bizarre. A group of friends were playing a game outside around sundown. One of them was filming while two others stood close together. One guy had his index finger extended and the other was holding it tightly. The one holding the finger counted to 3, and as soon as he finished, the guy with the extended finger quickly pulled it away. But then something strange happened. When you look at their shadows on the ground, you can still see one hand holding the other's finger, even though in real life their hands had already separated. The shadow seemed delayed. It lingered in that connected position for a few seconds before catching up and separating. I've seen clips of people playing this game before, and this phenomenon seems to happen often. It's clearly not a hoax, so the question is, what is this game and how is this even possible? Does anyone have an idea?
A la mañanita. Increíble. Una nube extraña. Observen.
Have you ever seen a cloud this low? No? Well, me neither. Sure, we've seen some strange clouds, but not ones that hang this low. This cloud looks like it's hiding something. It's almost as though it were not a cloud and only pretending to be. By that, I mean it might be something else using clouds as camouflage. It would have been very believable camouflage if the cloud was not that low. The man recording speaks in his local language, expressing skepticism about it being a cloud and wondering what it is. If you've been on this channel for a while longer, then you know I'm definitely gonna call this one a UFO. I mean, it's gotta be. Okay, not got to be, but there's a higher likelihood that it is. From what we've seen in the many clips we've examined on this channel, it's become evident that UFOs tend to use clouds as camouflage when moving from place to place because they're not easily noticeable. Then again, I could be wrong. Do you guys also suspect that the cloud's hiding something? If you do, what do you think might be behind that cloud? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section.
A la mañanita. Increíble. Una nube extraña. Observen.
If you are someone with a taste for exotic cuisine, then you might want to try this out. This is suo dui, which basically means suck and throw away. The meal is prepped with these pebbles, so they basically absorb the flavors of the ingredients being thrown into the hot pot. And no, you don't eat them, you suck on them, as the name implies. They also complement the taste of whatever is being prepared. In this clip, we can see the rocks are seasoned with chili, purple perilla, garlic, and rosemary. It's quite the spice fest. And the good news is you don't have to worry about bringing back the stones. You can suck on them as much as you want and then reuse them if you want. Bold men apparently invented this to cater for days and seasons when they had less to eat. Necessity is the mother of all inventions, after all. Is this something you see yourself eating or preparing? Let us know in the comments section. Years ago, the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla developed a device called the magnifying transmitter. For the longest time, this invention baffled scientists who couldn't fully grasp its purpose or potential. Most believed that Tesla intended to use the device to transmit energy through the atmosphere, a concept they thought would be inefficient and impractical. However, a deeper dive into Tesla's research and patents revealed something astonishing. They had it all wrong. Tesla's true vision was to use the device to transmit energy not through the air, but through the minerals in the ground. The transmitter would send energy through the earth, and the receiver, positioned elsewhere, would collect that energy. This method, Tesla believed, would be far more efficient and could potentially provide limitless energy across vast distances. The magnifying transmitter came in two crucial parts, the transmitter and the receiver, working together to achieve this groundbreaking form of energy transmission.
They've successfully mapped the brain of a fruit fly. What does this mean, you ask? Well, I will get to that in a bit, but the mapping of the entire brain of a fruit fly led to the creation of the first complete connectome of an animal's brain. This detailed map, comprising 3,060 neurons and 548,000 synaptic connections, offers critical insights into how neural circuits control behavior, learning, and decision-making. Behavior control and decision-making. Anyway, let's move on. After mapping the fruit fly's brain, scientists created a computer simulation of its neural activity. When the simulation was given sensory input suggesting the presence of food, it activated circuits linked to movement, effectively trying to move as if searching for food. This remarkable behavior highlights how even simple brains can process information and respond to stimuli, bringing us closer to understanding the neural basis of behavior and decision-making. The funny thing is that the fact that they were able to suggest things to the brain and it acted the way they wanted it to. I know this is being touted as new and novel, but who's to say the CIA and all those secret services of other nations haven't already done this or weaponized it? I guess we will never know. Some scientists in Peru shared an image they claimed to have generated, a 3D depiction of what they believe Adam, the first man created by God according to the Bible and religious beliefs. The image has gained some attention online. Soon, some curious minds dug deeper and uncovered the truth. This wasn't Adam at all. Instead, the 3D Adam was revealed to be fan art of actor Vin Diesel. Personally, I see Elon Musk there. Princeton University also stepped forward to clarify that the image had no connection to them and labeled the story as a fabrication. What do you think?
If Bigfoot and other creatures from folklore can be real, it certainly makes you wonder what other things we see in movies might have a grain of truth to them. Take this footage for example. A resident noticed something strange happening at her neighbor's house one morning. Perched all over her house were white owls, at least 10 of them. Remember the scene from Harry Potter where owls deliver letters? While the owls here aren't as numerous, it's still eerie to see so many of them gathered like this in real life. It makes you think, doesn't it? What could have drawn them all to this particular house? Could there be something more to it, or is it just a curious coincidence? It seems we can never go a day without new footage of a strange object in the sky. If it's not an orb, then it's some kind of craft. This time a man was in his apartment, gazing out over the city lights, when he noticed something unusual moving in the sky. Instinctively, he grabbed his camera and started capturing images. What he captured was a craft, at least that's what it appears to be. There's a long blue light running along the bottom of the object, with smaller red lights dotted its edges. The craft itself is shrouded in darkness, making it impossible to see its shape or structure. Only the eerie light formations are visible against the night sky. But what do you make of these images? Is it just another piece of evidence of something otherworldly, or is there a more mundane explanation?
Does any of you know what this is? Does it drink human blood? Does it bite? Would it suck my soul out? I know someone amongst you has the answer, so please share. This is our bonus segment, by the way, and you could make a name for yourself with the right answer. Antarctica has been the center of many conspiracy theories, ranging from it being the Hollow Earth's center to aliens living there and more. However, no concrete evidence has ever been provided to support or debunk these claims. Recently, this image surfaced, allegedly from Antarctica, showcasing a hidden ancient city concealed beneath the icy walls. The settlement's impressive architecture has grabbed the attention of many, but the question remains, is this true? After conducting some research, we discovered that the image was just a painting and not a real photograph. Still on strange foods, we've got this.
Ay, pero por mucho, ¿por qué hacen este? Mira. Mira, hasta hacen aureolas. Estoy diciendo que mira qué globo hay.
Now, for this one in particular, I've got no answers. I mean, it's not every day you see a green sauce giving off lighting or electricity sparks and sending smoke to the atmosphere. I have no words for it, sincerely. If you have an idea of what's going on here and have answers, then please do share them with us in the comments section, as we'd love to know.
¿Por qué hacen este? Mira. Mira, hasta hacen aureolas. Estoy diciendo que mira qué globo hay.
Around so I can work on it a bit. You hear that?
This man was deep in the Alaskan Triangle, a region notorious for its mysterious and often eerie occurrences. He'd set up his tent in the middle of the wilderness and was working on something late at night when he began to hear some strange noises. Let's listen closely. The sounds outside his tent were unlike anything he'd ever heard before. It was like two very large animals were giggling just beyond the thin walls of his shelter. Initially, he thought it might be wolves, but the noises didn't quite match up with what you'd expect from those animals. The Alaskan Triangle is known for its many reported sightings of Bigfoot, leading some to believe that what we heard that night could be something far more mysterious. You heard the strange sounds, right? So what do you think?
Lots to do. It's just a big crew. We just take the other
Some boaters were out at sea during a sundown when they noticed something strange. On the horizon, there were two suns. On one side, they couldn't see the actual sun, just a golden glow lighting up the sky, making the area bright. But on the other side, there was a round orange sphere, exactly how the sun looks during sundown. We know there's only one sun, so what's causing this illusion? Some are saying this is an atmospheric phenomenon like light reflection or a rare optical effect caused by the angle of the sun in the horizon. Others are saying perhaps there are two suns, but, well, we all know that's not the case. What do you think is happening here? Has anyone else seen anything like this before? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section.
I'd love to do it. It's just to be a crew, we just to get yelled at.
I think by if you say like 2040, probably there are more humanoid robots than there are people.
So on the order of 10 billion. Yeah.
Yes.
And your price point on these humanoid robots?
Yeah, the price point will be, I think, quite low. Probably $25,000 for a robot that can do anything.
Leave it to the man some believe might be a robot himself to predict that by 2040, humanoid robots will outnumber humans. Elon Musk drops predictions like this as if they're completely normal, but for someone like him, well, they probably are. Just look at all the work he's pouring into Tesla's Optimus robot, Neuralink, and other AI-driven projects. It's clear he sees a future where machines are not just tools, but active participants in society. But honestly, it's not impossible. But 2040, that's not far away at all. If Musk is right, we're looking at a world where humanoid robots might be everywhere, working jobs, assisting people, maybe even living alongside us like in sci-fi movies. How do you feel about that? Exciting? Terrifying? I mean, we're ready for that kind of future? I personally am not.
I think by if you say like 2040, probably there are more humanoid robots than there are people.
So on the order of 10 billion. Yeah.
Yes.
And your price point on these humanoid robots?
Yeah, the price point will be, I think, quite low. Probably $25,000 for a robot that can do anything.
Imagine being out in the wild and coming across this. What does it look like to you? Almost everyone I showed this to was convinced it was a snake. Others thought we were looking at the belly of an alligator or croc that was somehow turned over in the water. Looking at it, I guess I understand why they think that, because for a second I thought so too. I have my answer now though, but instead of telling you, let's see if you guys can figure it out. 1, 2, 3. If you thought dog, then you're right. It's a dog. Next, we've got a clip of a child sleeping what appears to be her baby cot. There's a baby cam rolling, and if you pay attention, you'll see it. A cloud of smoke or fog appears to hover over the child. It moves around for a little while, and then the clip ends. The one who uploaded it believes the cam captured a spirit that was visiting the child. Now, there's no way to confirm or disprove that, but it's a common hypothesis people have anytime they find such white, ethereal, and foggy movements or characters around their babies. If you're an avid follower of this channel, then this is probably not the first time you've seen a clip like this. What do you personally think about these kinds of clips? What do you believe is actually happening in them? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Since Trump came back to office, the United States has been heading in a whole new direction, but someone made a very keen observation. Take a look at this video.
Has anybody else noticed that in this recent speech, like the coat of arms behind Trump, where usually like the head of the eagle is facing towards the olive branch, whilst having these arrows, which means that it's capable of peace and war, but it's going to look more towards peace. The eagle in this coat of arms is looking towards the arrows.
That's very interesting and alarming at the same time. The bald eagle on the coat of arms is supposed to face the olive branch in its hand, symbolizing peace. But in this instance, during Trump's speech, the eagle was facing the arrows in its hand, which symbolizes war. With world leaders and the secrecy surrounding many of their actions, one thing they've often used is symbolism. They hide the truth in plain sight. Could this subtle display be an Easter egg hinting at something bigger, or do you think it was just a mistake? One of the most popular products in the beauty industry is perfume. Everybody wants to smell nice, but did you know that it actually might be harmful to us? Yeah, the fragrances we love often contain harmful chemicals like benzene, phthalates, acetaldehyde, and many others. These substances are not just toxic, they're linked to serious health issues including cancer, weakened immune systems, infertility, and chronic diseases. But perfume companies often get away with it. Regulations allow them to avoid listing these harmful chemicals on their labels. Instead, they can simply group everything under the vague term fragrance or perfume. This lack of transparency makes it nearly impossible for consumers to know what they're really exposing themselves to. So, while smelling great might feel like a priority, it's worth considering the hidden costs of that lovely scent. Also, bear in mind that you're not hurting just you, but everyone else that comes significantly close to you and smells it. Think about that. Stepping away from wireless inventions, I've got something that's sure to make your wired bits excited. Take a look. Did you catch that? Am I not the only one seeing what looks like a cross between a crustacean and a mammal moving on the roof of that building? Given the frame rate at which the creature or being is moving, I'm tempted to believe it was digitally inserted since it's very different from the rest of the footage. No, my editor didn't tell me that. Maybe just a little. I'm perfectly capable of figuring some of these things out myself. Moving on from my insecurities, what do you think? How far would you go to protect your home? Well, don't answer just yet, as our next clip promises a sub-lethal approach. Take a look. This is a turret created by the company Sub-Lethal. Get it? They never get it. Anyway, the turret can be installed on any part of your property you deem advantageous. It comes with controls and a system that allows you to fire rubber rounds to keep intruders away. They have a tear gas option if you find the rubber bullets a bit too extreme. If you ask me, though, tear gas is a bit much, but anything to keep your home safe, right? I can see this becoming handy during a robbery or even a riot. Do tell me, though. Is this technology something you would use, or would you prefer a more traditional pew-pew? There's something about the Appalachian Mountains. Beautiful, sure, but beneath all that nature and silence, something strange always seems to be watching. And if you know anything about the folklore, then you know it's not always just animals out there. This woman was on a solo trip, just her and a dog, staying at a rented house in the Appalachian Mountains. And one afternoon, they were outside filming a cute little video. It was peaceful until suddenly it wasn't. From out of nowhere, this loud, spine-chilling scream ripped through the air. It came from the direction of the nearby woods. You can hear it in the footage, a mix between a woman shrieking and something completely unnatural, almost like it wasn't meant to come from a human. The dog heard it too. Immediately, it turned toward the trees, ears perked up, alert. It barked a few times, clearly disturbed. That was enough for her. She grabbed the dog and headed straight back into the house, locking the door behind her. She had no idea what it could have been, but for anyone familiar with the region, this could be anything. The Appalachian Mountains aren't just scenic, they are strange. From unexplained lights to phantom screams and sightings of bizarre creatures, this place is like a magnet for the paranormal. We're talking cryptids, spirit folklore, even whispers of things like the Knot, deer, or skinwalkers, and beings you don't want to run into, especially alone at night. So what do you think made that sound? Have you ever found something in your house that makes you stop and question everything? Well, this woman definitely did. She'd been living in the house for about a year until she decided to rearrange some furniture. Specifically, she moved 2 very large bookshelves in one of the rooms, and that's when she found it. A door. Not just any door, but one that had clearly been taped shut and deliberately hidden behind those shelves. She called in for some help, and they opened the door. And what did they find? A staircase leading up to a large, hidden room. Turns out it was a spacious attic, one she never knew existed. Now, if you've watched enough horror movies, you know that attics aren't just dusty storage spaces, and the fact that this one was completely sealed off, it's making people suspicious. Online folks are saying the attic was sealed because something dark and dangerous was up there, like an entity, perhaps? Something the previous owners didn't want getting out or being found. But on the flip side, some are saying the internet is just spiraling. It could just be an old, unused attic, and the tape was meant to keep dust or animals out. But what do you think?
Oh!
I mean, you're not gonna hang out up here, but...
Oh, God. Oh, motherfucker.
You could actually convert this into a pretty sweet, like...
Dang! That's actually pretty cool.
This is exactly why some of us freak out whenever new military technology is released. Just look at these 2 machines going at each other. It's a drone and a robot dog shooting firecrackers at one another. I think this is some sort of test, but even this looks intense. Both are tirelessly firing at each other with precision. Imagine if they had actual bullets or explosives. The damage they could cause is something I don't even want to think about. I know the tech industry is trying to find alternative means to fight wars and enhance security, but let's not forget that these are machines, gadgets that can be hacked or malfunction. And if that happens, it could turn into something straight out of movies like Creator, M3GAN, Terminator, or even align with the theory of the singularity. While we wrap our minds around that, this woman was driving home and had come to a stop at a junction in her neighborhood when she noticed something unusual.
Look at this. Look at this. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there.
About 3 deer were standing a few feet apart, all facing the same direction and standing eerily still. It was so strange.
There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. They're just standing.
She recorded the clip and uploaded it online, seeking to understand the behavior. Naturally, many in the community were quick to point out this was evidence of a glitch they had been talking about. Others were not sold on it and felt the whole scene might have been staged. Yeah, paid deer actors, or at least realistic-looking ones. Being the open-minded person I am, I did some research, and it turns out that none of those answers are right. Deer actually do this. The eerie stillness of the 3 deer in the neighborhood could be explained by their ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. A study on roe deer in Europe found that these animals tend to align themselves along a north-northeast to south-southwest axis, regardless of external factors like time of day or habitat. This behavior, known as nonsense orientation, isn't random. It helps maintain group cohesion, especially when fleet in danger. When disturbed, roe deer also tend to run in these same directions, so the deer at the junction might not have been frozen in fear, but simply following their natural magnetic alignment, a behavior seen in other animals like birds. Shocking, I know, but perhaps there's more to the animals around us than we give them credit for. Who knows what other superpowers deer and other animals might have that we have yet to observe or understand.
There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. They're just standing.
The clip you're seeing on your screens was captured by a CCTV cam in a remote area. The motorcycle seemingly lost control on a rainy day and crashed. People rushed to his aid, but instead of admitting the rain may have contributed to the unfortunate circumstance, he claims he saw something, a dark being. Instead of accusing him and telling him he was seeing things like he expected to hear after making the confession, everyone present became quiet. This was allegedly something that happened in the community over and over. They had a cemetery nearby, and the individuals were suspecting that the spirits from the cemetery come out to roam at night. When the CCTV camera footage was reviewed, they found a shadowy being or creature showing up on the opposite side of the street just around the time the man appeared and crashed. This, to many, was proof that the man had indeed encountered an otherworldly being. While many in the paranormal community found this interesting, a few others felt it was basically the shadow of a person and nothing more. This one's a bit tricky, but take a good look and tell me what you think. Bungee jumping is one of those things that looks thrilling from a distance, but up close, well, it's a whole different story, especially in places like China where it's become incredibly popular and viral videos pop up every other day. But with popularity comes risk, and sometimes people get so caught up in the thrill that they forget one very important detail: safety. Recently, a video went viral of a man leaping off a cliff for a bungee jump, except it looked like he wasn't strapped in at all. No visible safety cords, nothing, just pure freefall. So the internet freaked out. People started digging into the video to figure out what had happened. Thankfully, it turned out he was secured. Well, sort of. If you look closely, you'll see that instead of the usual setup of multiple visible cords, he was only hooked to a single blue rope. That one cord was strong enough to catch him and bring him back safely, but honestly, it was cutting it way too close for comfort. In most bungee jumps, multiple cords and checks are part of the standard setup. This looks sloppy, and if that one cord had failed, the outcome would have been fatal. So while bungee jumping might give you the adrenaline rush of a lifetime, don't let the excitement rush your safety checks. Always make sure every single rope is secured, double-checked, and verified, because in this game, there's no second chance mid-air.
Готов. Готовы? Внимание, прыжок. Ready, set, go!
A man decided to explore an abandoned asylum. Now, asylums don't exactly have the best reputations, and you can probably guess that his experience was not exactly pleasant. This particular asylum was in Chile, and it's said to be extremely haunted. Many people have reported seeing ghosts wandering the halls, but despite knowing this, the man went one night with his dog. When they arrived, his dog wandered through the building and found a toy car. Strangely, the dog backed away from the car, growling. The man ignored the dog's reaction and left the car on the ground as he continued exploring. Not long after, he started hearing a strange voice that sounded like a woman's echoing through the hallway. Then he heard the toy car's wheels rolling in another room. He kept walking until he came across another building across from the one he was in. Through the window, he saw something terrifying. It was a figure with a pale face and black hair staring directly at him. Its appearance was distorted, and the man managed to snap a few pictures of it. As he looked at the figure, he heard strange voices again. At that point, he'd had enough and left the asylum immediately. Some in the paranormal community believed the spirit was luring him in. Just as well, he left before she was able to. Take a look at the pictures he captured. What do you think that figure is?
Tell me that does not look like a freaking face. Holy
A resident in Los Angeles shared this bizarre footage of something strange in the night sky. It shows two glowing orbs hovering in the air with a beam of light extending down toward the ground. Now, this is odd. It doesn't look like street lights or any normal reflection. And with how bright these things are, it's hard to dismiss it as just a trick of the light. We all know LA and the US has been experiencing a surge in UFO sightings lately. Could this be one of them? Or is there some other explanation for what we are seeing? What do we have here? A tank full of strange slug-like creatures suddenly losing their minds. And no, this isn't a horror movie, it's real life. Let's take a closer look. They're long, slimy, and squirming all over each other. So what exactly are we looking at? These are lampreys. They're an invasive species known for their creepy eel-like bodies and circular suction cup mouths filled with rows of sharp teeth. They're notorious for attaching themselves to other fish and sucking the life out of them. They're hard to get rid of, and in some waters, they've become a serious problem. But in this footage, it looks like something triggered them. The most likely explanation is that someone might have added the scent of a dead lamprey into the water. Yeah, you heard that right. One method people use to deter or control lampreys involves adding the smell of their dead into the water. They hate it and go into a panic. Based on how these ones are acting, that could very well be what's happening here.
Are you talking?
They say walls remember things, and when a house has a dark past, like being a former funeral home, well, it's only a matter of time before something starts reaching through. This particular house you're looking at isn't just old, it's reportedly a former funeral home. So from the very beginning, the odds of peace are not that great. A man bought the property and moved in, not knowing just how strange things were to get. What started as a new beginning quickly became a daily encounter with the unexplained. One night, he was in his room when he suddenly heard a low, strange, almost human-like sound coming from somewhere down the hall. He grabbed his camera and stepped out to investigate, but he saw nothing. But as he turned into his room, an unseen entity appeared directly in front of him out of nowhere. It spooked him so badly that you can hear his reaction in the video, and you can see the thing on camera. It's dark and humanoid in shape. It looks like a solid black shadow, clearer than most typical ghost footage, not some blurry smudge. This thing had form. According to the man, encounters like this are nearly a daily occurrence in the house. He's seen these figures so often, they become a part of his routine. But even with all that experience, it's obvious from his reaction he never really got used to them. And then there's another clip. In this one, a dark figure can be seen outside the house, standing completely still, just staring into his room from the window. And honestly, that one might be even more disturbing than the one inside. So are these spirits lingering from the house's past as a funeral home? Are they entities drawn to the energy of the place?
Are you talking? What the hell is it doing? Son of a...
A man came home to a loud, frantic banging on the window of one of his rooms. At first he thought maybe it was just the wind or some animal outside. But as he walked closer, he froze. Through the glass, a small hand was pounding against the window, and along with it, he heard a child's eerie, hysterical laughter. The sound sent a chill down his spine. He wasn't expecting anyone to be out there. No kids lived in the house, and no one should have been inside. He rushed into the room, heart racing, but the moment he stepped inside, everything went silent. No banging, no laughter, and when he checked behind the curtains, nothing. No one. So what was that? A ghost or something even more disturbing? A couple owns a smart fridge, and according to them, one day the wife walked into the kitchen and heard it whispering. She turned it off, but this keeps happening. Take a look at the video.
So this shit actually terrifies me. This thing, okay, the thing is off. Okay, here we go. Your microphone is now turned off. I turned this off one day. Okay, I press cancel, and it keeps popping up. And one night, I'm sitting on my couch, and I hear whispering. Literally whispering in the kitchen. And I'm like, what the f*** is that noise? It's this. I come in here and I see the thing talking, it's whispering. I said, absolutely not, turn the f*** off.
She turned off the microphone near the fridge, and this strange activity kept popping up. The fridge refuses to stay off. Smart devices are cool, but I don't think they work any better than regular fridges. Stop using smart devices at home. These devices are intelligent, meaning they can think to a certain level on their own. It also means they can be hacked and potentially used to spy on you. I know you trust big corporations, but if the things happening around us communicate anything, it's that we can't trust big corpos. Stick to the normal fridge. Okay.
And one night, I'm sitting on my couch, and I hear whispering. Literally whispering in the kitchen. And I'm like, what the f*** is that noise? It's this. I come in here and I see the thing talking, it's whispering. I said, absolutely not, turn the f*** off.
You must first blow all the air out of your lungs. I got work. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? Yeah, it worked.
You know that fun party trick when you inhale helium from a balloon and your voice turns into Alvin and the Chipmunks? It's all laughs. Until it's not. Because as harmless as it seems, inhaling helium can actually be dangerous, as this girl found out the hard way.
¿Qué pasó? ¡Ey! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¡No, Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¡No, Daniela, qué te pasa! ¿Qué te pasa de qué? ¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
She was in the car with a little sister and a mother, just having some fun. Sitting in the front seat next to her mom, she inhaled from a helium balloon, giggling as that squeaky cartoon voice kicked in.
But then, just as suddenly, it all went wrong. The moment she inhaled again, her body went stiff, her head slumped to the side, and she stopped responding. Her mom noticed and panicked, yelling her name, trying to wake her up. Thankfully, after a few terrifying moments, she came back to herself, confused, dazed, and completely unaware of what just happened. Turns out, when you inhale too much helium, you're not breathing in oxygen. Just one deep breath can cause you to pass out, or worse, because your brain isn't getting what it needs. Yeah, it can be fatal. So yeah, it might sound funny at first, but helium isn't a joke. This girl was lucky. Her mom acted fast, but not everyone gets that second chance. So the next time you see a balloon, maybe skip the chipmunk voice impression.
¿Qué pasó? ¡Ey! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa? ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¡Luz Daniela! ¿Qué te pasa?
¿Qué te pasa de qué?
¡Luz Daniela, qué te pasa?
¿Qué le pasa de qué?
¿Por qué te pusiste morada?
All right, y'all, we're down here at the truck stop. You don't believe in UFOs? Look at that man. A f***ing UFO flying around this morning.
This clip was captured by an individual named Randy Ayers in California. The individual filming was so excited by what he saw, he was calling out all non-believers in UFOs. It appears to have been recorded at a truck stop in broad daylight. There's a combination you seldom see when you see UFO clips, and to be fair, we don't exactly see the whole craft, but we see enough to suggest it's something alien. I mean, do you know any human crafts that look like this? No, right? Not long after Randy shared this clip, another was shared from California. This was also allegedly recorded in California, but at night. So why are UFOs being picked up around this area, especially in California? Is there a coming wave we need to be aware of, or are Californians just making things up? None of my team members live in California, so we're unable to verify. If you live there and have experienced strange things, you know what to do. Kindly send us a mail, classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. So we start today's episode with a video from a couple whose ride home was interrupted by something unnerving. Like most of you watching this clip, they wanted to get home early and took a shortcut through the rather remote area. What they didn't count on was this appearing in their car window. It looks like a face, a person's face. Unlike the normal face of an individual, this particular one had skin that looked like it was painted with black paint and eyes that appear more reddish than normal. As if that was not strange enough, whoever or whatever this person was just stared through the glass window into the car, not moving or blinking. Naturally, the couple were so scared that they froze and sat in the car as the eerie figure kept staring. Luckily, the door was closed, and it remained so. One thing I kept thinking while watching this clip was, why didn't they just drive off? I mean, they're the ones in the car, unless whatever the thing was had some power that made them lose their will to run. I couldn't even bring this before Julius, as he would have called it fake, and for the first time in a long time, I would have a defense. Anyway, what do you guys think is going on here? We've all heard the conspiracy theories claiming that the government controls the weather. Well, it turns out this might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. In fact, it's no longer just a wild speculation, a patent that suggests it could be true. The patent goes into detail about certain chemicals that can be released into the atmosphere to manipulate weather patterns. Remember chemtrails, those mysterious lines in the sky that some people say are evidence of weather manipulation? There might be some truth to those theories after all. While some dismiss these claims as paranoia, the existence of such patents raises serious questions. Why would the government need to control the weather? Is it for agricultural purposes, military strategy, or something else entirely?
You never really think much about a storage room, just boxes, shelves, and dust, but sometimes these forgotten spaces hold more than just old belongings. This eerie footage was shared from a security camera set up inside a storage room. At first, it looks like just another dimly lit space with shelves scattered with boxes and quiet. But then, something moves. A transparent figure can be seen walking through the storage area. It moves like it's searching for something. The figure is faint, almost see-through, but clear enough to make out the human-like shape. Now, there's no solid history of death or tragedy tied to this building, at least not that we know of, but sightings like this always have a backstory. So what do you think the spirit could be? A restless soul searching for something lost? Or maybe this space holds a past no one wants to talk about? Sometimes the scariest things don't happen in the dark. They show up in plain view when you least expect them, like in your mirror. This woman had just come back home from a day out. She cleaned up, got comfortable, sat in front of her mirror to relax. Her cat lay beside her, scratching and purring as they played together. It was a wholesome moment. So she decided to record it. Nothing drastic, just her cat, and the quiet. The camera was positioned facing the mirror, capturing both her and her cat in the reflection. But when she watched the footage back, something was wrong. In the mirror's reflection, there weren't just the two of them. There was a third presence. Its face was positioned just behind her, watching. And at that moment, well, she felt nothing. It was just a normal evening. But in the footage, that face is undeniable. A pale, expressionless face staring intently at her and her cat from just behind her shoulder. People who've seen the video are torn. Some think it's a glitch or a double exposure. Others say it's a spirit that made itself known through the mirror. What do you think? Back in 2021, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia announced a groundbreaking development initiative called The Line. It's a futuristic city plan to be built in the desert, and announcements sent shockwaves around the world. Many people were skeptical about the project, but it seems Saudi Arabia is determined to make it happen. Take a look at this recent drone footage of the project. Construction has already begun with massive infrastructure excavation cutting through the mountainous terrain. What do you think about this ambitious project? Is it a good idea, or is it too futuristic to be practical? Have you ever wondered what the world would look like when AI is at its peak? Well, take a look at this and tell me why it feels like a very accurate demonstration of it. Robot dogs walking in the streets, flying cars zipping through the air, drones buzzing everywhere, and humanoid robots strolling on the sidewalks. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it feels eerily possible. This vision of the future is both fascinating and a little unsettling. What year do you think this could become a reality? 2050, 2100, or sooner than we expect? This eerie clip goes all the way back to 2016, when a group of people were out exploring the mountainside near Wild Horse Lake in Oregon. They were just taking in the views, snapping some photographs, nothing out of the ordinary, until they caught this. On the far side of the lake, something strange happens. A humanoid figure suddenly emerges from the water and immediately takes off running. Now, if you know anything about Oregon, you know it's a Bigfoot hotspot, so of course, a lot of people were quick to say it was Bigfoot, but not everyone's convinced. Some skeptics think it's just a person out for a swim, maybe someone pulling a prank or just having some fun in the lake. Still, there's something about how fast it runs that keeps people open for debate. So, did this group accidentally film a cryptid, or is it just a wet jogger in the wrong place at the wrong time? There's something deeply unsettling about being watched, especially when you didn't even realize it until after the fact. This woman was out on her patio around 1 a.m. waiting for her husband to get back from work. Their baby was awake too, so she stepped outside with the little one, trying to calm him down in the night air. Their home had a security camera installed, so the whole scene was being recorded. As she gently rocked the baby over her shoulder, something strange happened. The baby suddenly stared toward the gate as if something caught their attention, and that's when the woman started to feel uneasy. As the camera zooms in, you can see a pale, white face barely visible peeking through the gaps in the gate. It wasn't moving much, just watching. The face looked thin, ghostly, and wrong, almost inhuman. At the time she brushed it off, she thought it was her husband playing a prank, but then he walked in at 3 a.m., 2 hours after the sighting. She asked him if he'd come home early to mess with her, and he said no, he hadn't been anywhere near the house. That's when they both reviewed the security footage together, and both were completely shaken. Some say it was a spirit, others think it might have been something more physical, but not exactly human. And the creepiest part is that the baby saw it first. Let me know what you think in the comments. Scientists just don't know when to stop, and as if the world potentially being taken over by robots and AI isn't enough, they've now managed to create a mini human brain. This brain was made from stem cells and mouse embryos. It's said to have the capacity of a premature baby and has already done some incredible things. For example, it was connected to a video game, and just within 5 minutes the brain learned how to play it. In another experiment, they attached the brain to a butterfly and it quickly learned how to fly, adapting almost instantly to living as a butterfly. This is a groundbreaking achievement, but how far should we go with this kind of research? Moving on, a woman was at home when she noticed an orb floating around her room. Naturally, she did what everything in 2025 would do, grab her phone to record it instead of running away. While filming, however, something far more unsettling in the background caught her attention. It was a huge face. You could clearly see its eyes, and as you watch closely, the eyes blink sideways. The face seemed to be peeking out from behind the doorframe, almost as if it was watching her. Now, I don't know about what the homeowner did after this happened, but it's definitely the kind of thing that would leave anyone shaken. We often associate orbs with aliens or paranormal activity, so is that what this was? Was there an alien lurking in the corner of the room, or is there another explanation for what's going on here? I know some of you are waiting for Julius's take, and, well, the honest truth is, he said nothing. After he watched the clip and I read out my script to him, he just shook his head and walked out as though I'd wasted his time. I won't think much of it, but that's it. He said nothing. We visit Sao Paulo, Brazil for this next clip. The clip was captured by a group of friends who were left rather stunned by the sight. It happened on May the 2nd, 2025 in Pirapora de Bom Jesus, Sao Paulo, Brazil. The group had their phones out, casually filming the sky when something odd caught their attention, an unusual formation just beneath the clouds. This wasn't your average cloud pattern. It had definition, it had structure, and most bizarre of all, it cast a shadow. The friends could hardly believe what they were seeing. Was it a UFO, a portal, some kind of interdimensional doorway? No one can say for sure, but one thing was clear. It didn't look like anything from this world. They uploaded it seeking answers, and all who saw it were as puzzled as the uploaders. But maybe, just maybe, you guys may be seeing things differently. So what do you think? Something natural or something far stranger? Sometimes it's not what you see that unsettles you. It's what moves without reason. And in this case, the bar wasn't serving just drinks. Something else was there. This footage comes from a security camera set up at a bar. You can see a woman behind the counter casually mixing drinks at her station. But as she pours a second drink, the bottle is yanked out of her hand and pulled across the counter by an unseen force. You can tell she's stunned. She just stands there, frozen, trying to process what just happened. No one else is near her, no one is behind the bar, and nothing explains how that bottle moved like that. Let's watch it again. See that? It doesn't look like it was dropped. It doesn't even fall naturally. It glides like something grabbed it and dragged it. Now, the skeptics say it could have been faked, maybe a string tied to the bottle or a magnet trick, but most people who've watched the footage believe it's real. Maybe this bar has a past, or something or someone didn't like how she was mixing those drinks. Remember that story about the woman who bought a 25-year-old house? Well, there's an update on the mysterious book she found under the floorboards, and things just got even creepier. First, she stumbled upon an old dart game in one of the rooms. 2 darts were lodged in the board, but a third dart was suspended in mid-air, slowly rotating as if held by an invisible hand. If that doesn't scream haunted, well, I don't know what does. But the real chilling discovery came when she finally opened the book. Inside were Victorian-era photographs. Some were individual portraits of stern-faced men and women, while others captured the house and its rooms from centuries past. At first glance, the photos seemed ordinary, but upon closer inspection, something unsettling emerged. In every single photo of the room, a shadowy figure lurked in the background. Its shape was indistinct, but its presence was unmistakable. Always watching, always there. Unless this woman has a penchant for sharing her home with spectral roommates from the 1800s, it might be time to reconsider her living situation. After all, some house guests are better left in the past. Let's take a look at this very curious footage of Katy Perry. She was at an event standing outside with a lot of security and photographers around her, but something feels off. She's looking in one particular direction with this odd glow in her eyes, and she's not blinking. It looks very unnatural, almost inhuman. Is she one of those shape-shifting creatures people talk about, or could she even be a robot? We all know about the conspiracy that certain celebrities might not be entirely human, but shapeshifters and glitches like this are evidence of it. Others think it could just be a coincidence, but still, it's hard to ignore how eerie this moment is. What do you think? These 2 girls were just trying to take a photograph together at the Alabama Theater in Birmingham. It's known as one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's old, grand, and full of eerie energy. But when they checked the picture afterward, they caught something they definitely weren't expecting. Right behind them in the shot, 2 figures that weren't there when the photograph was taken. The first looks like a woman. She's tall with long black hair and a strikingly white face. Her eyes seem sunken with dark curves or shadows surrounding them, almost like she's wearing some kind of mask or heavy makeup. It's almost doll-like, but not in a good way. The second figure is even more unsettling. Standing nearby is a darker presence like a shadow. And when you look closer, it resembles a man in a long dark robe, but you can't make out his face. Neither of them were seen by the girls at the time, but they were clearly there in the photograph. It's obvious what they are. There's something unsettling about walking alone at night. The silence can feel too loud, and you get the feeling that something or someone is watching. For one person, that eerie feeling turned out to be horrifyingly real. Someone was out for a walk one quiet night when they happened to look up, and what they saw made their blood run cold. There, high up in the branches, were a pair of glowing eyes staring down at them. At first, it might have seemed like an animal, but as their eyes adjusted, they realized those eyes weren't from any owl or raccoon. No, they were set in something human-shaped. The head was distinctly human and pale, with an outline that stood out eerily against the night sky. It didn't blink, it just watched. That pretty much rules out most common nocturnal animals. No owl or opossum has a head shaped like that, or eyes that feel like they're staring straight into your soul. Some who've seen the image believe it might be a rake, others say it's a skinwalker. We couldn't see its full body, so we cannot conclude, but what do you think was watching from the trees that night? Take a listen to this eerie footage and tell me what you think is making those noises from the woods. This video was captured by a woman in North Carolina during a walk with her dog. As they passed by the forest, they began hearing strange, otherworldly sounds echoing from the trees. What's even more intriguing is that these noises aren't a one-time occurrence. The locals reported hearing them every year, typically from late January through February. Some people have even dubbed this time of year Bigfoot season, as the sounds are often linked to the sightings and encounters with the elusive cryptid. The noises themselves are deep, guttural, and almost primal, unlike anything commonly associated with known wildlife in the area. Could they be mating calls, territorial signals, or even migration sounds? Well, it's hard to say given how little we truly know about creatures like Bigfoot, if they exist at all. Skeptics argue it's just an animal like a coyote or an owl, but the consistency and timing of these sounds have left many wondering if there's something more mysterious at play. So what do you think? Could this be evidence of something extraordinary? Or is it just the forest playing tricks on us? And for those living near wooded areas, have you ever heard anything like this? Let's hear your thoughts. What are we looking at here? It's an alien-like creature gliding through clear water. At first glance, its body resembles that of a fish, but something about it doesn't quite fit. The head is even stranger. It has no visible eyes or mouth, just a deep, dark blue hue. When I saw this, the first thing that came to me was one of the alien ships of the Covenant in Halo. See? There's a resemblance, but while this creature might look like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, it's not an alien. This is actually a blanket octopus. Yeah, an octopus. These fascinating creatures are known for their stunning, flowing appearance, almost like a living blanket drifting through the ocean. I wanted it to be something more, extraterrestrial, but looks like it's just something terrestrial, no matter how fascinating it looks. Have you ever noticed how almost every device you own, from your TV, your charger, your speaker, your router, has a small blue light on it? It might seem harmless, but there's a deeper and much stranger story behind why that little glow is everywhere. I came across some bizarre footage that breaks it all down, and according to it, the obsession with blue lights didn't start in tech labs or corporate design rooms. It started with the mafia. Back in the day, Vegas mobsters reportedly discovered that slot machines with soft blue lighting kept people locked in. Gamblers would zone out, linger longer, and pour in more money. That glow had a kind of hypnotic spell. Once word got out, the technique didn't stay in Vegas for long. The CIA caught wind of this blue light trick and began experimenting with it during the infamous MK Ultra program. After that, blue lights went mainstream. Now we see them everywhere, in our homes, on our phones, on our devices. What started as a psychological manipulation tool may have been quietly folded into daily life, and no one questioned it. Think about it. We're staring at our screens for hours, often late at night, with blue light blasting into our eyes. It messes with our sleep, it keeps us hooked, it might even help keep us suggestible, all from something as simple as a glow. Does it mean we're living in a digital trance, hypnotized by one notification at a time? I'm not exactly sure where this footage was taken, but just look at this sky. Something mesmerizing is happening up there. Hovering above a city is the glowing orb, and from it, beams of light shoot out in all directions. It's almost hypnotic the way the lights dance across the clouds and shift like they're alive. The first thing people shouted was UFO, but let's not jump to conclusions too fast. If you look closely, the light doesn't behave like a solid object. There's no visible structure, just projections. That's got a lot of people thinking it could be a hologram display, and honestly, that theory makes sense. Hologram technology has gotten so good recently that it can easily fool the eye. We've seen entire light shows in the sky, concerts with virtual performers, and even drone displays that mimic flying objects. What do you think this was? We all remember the time Selena Gomez fell on the red carpet at an awards show. It's a very infamous incident, but recently someone made an interesting observation. Take a look at her foot as she fell. It twisted in a way that looked rather unnatural, almost inhuman. People are now linking this to the shapeshifter conspiracy in Hollywood. Some are suggesting that Selena might have shapeshifted in public and covered it up with a fall. We've seen a lot of cases where celebrities have very odd moments like this, and it's often said to be a glitch in their reptilian bodies. But is that really the case? Personally, I think this might just be AI-edited footage. Maybe it's Julius. His opinions are starting to affect me, but not you guys. So what do you think is going on here?
Oigan, ando aquí en mi casa, que esta casa que voy a vender.
A rental house owner captured this eerie scene. She'd gone to the property to clean it up for a new tenant. The house had been vacant for 2 months, so she wanted to make sure everything was ready for the next person moving in.
Seguí este cuarto aquí en el oeste y me fui para los detrás.
She'd already started mopping the floors when she noticed something strange on the ground as she moved around the rooms. There were human footprints, clear as day.
Sí, unas patitas. ¿Cómo voy? Están todavía no se seca.
But here's the thing, she was not completely alone and was wearing sneakers, so the prints could not have been hers.
Y estoy sola. No hay nadie. Mis niños están en la escuela.
But if it wasn't her, who or what was there with her? She's not sure, but she states that she felt uneasy when she saw the prints, almost as though they were an invisible force or being sharing her space with her.
Ay, madre. Ya me voy.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Before you buy a place, always do your investigation. You don't want to end up with a cursed house. The same goes for renting out your property. Be careful who you hand it over to. You never know, it might attract things. What if this invisible entity was left behind by the previous tenant, or maybe it moved in during the 2 months the house was empty? Also, what exactly could we be dealing with? Any ideas?
Seguí este cuarto aquí en el oeste y me fui para los detrás. Ya vengo de regreso trapeando y noto esto. Seguí unas patitas.
Anyway, with that, we end today's episode. Thank you. I'm still trying to do New Jersey. Hey, with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Anyway, guys, I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now, do me a favor. Share this with as many people as you can. Because we need your love. We need your support. And remember, head on over to the community section. Have a look every couple of days because there's stuff going on there, including me doing comments and stuff as well, like answering stuff. You might enjoy it. I'm still doing New Jersey. Yeah, you know, you might enjoy it, huh? Just add on over and we'll see what we got going on, huh? Mwah. See you later.